Okay, so hello, welcome back. My name is Cyber Neo as usual, and in this particular session, we will look at how to use the Recon-ng tool for footprinting and reconnaissance. Alright, so before we dive in, Recon-ng is an OSINT tool, which means it helps you to gather information using open source. Alright, that's why we call it OSINT, open source intelligence. Now, when you install Recon-ng, which is already installed on Kali Linux, you have 3 executables that can help you to use Recon-ng to perform the various tasks. Right, so first and foremost, we have the Recon CLI. So you can see I've run these commands several times, so my history is still there. So Recon CLI gives you the option to execute modules and commands or different features as a single command. And one of them that I really love is the option W, which can help you to run Recon-ng into a particular workspace. Alright, we will see that in action very soon. Alright, so and then we have the Recon Web. Alright, Recon Web, which from here it tells you this is an analytics and reporting engine for Recon-ng. So you are only going to look at the various tasks or visualize the activities that you've done so far using Recon-ng. So it's only for reporting. Alright, you can't really run any commands from the Recon Web. Alright, and then the one executable that most are familiar with is the Recon-ng, which opens up the Recon-ng console with a prompt, an interactive prompt where you can run the various commands available in Recon-ng. So as you can see, it has launched the Recon-ng 2 and it tells me unable to synchronize module index. Okay, so that means I have no internet access. Alright, so I need to turn on my internet access. Okay, so let's get this bad boy up and running. Okay, my internet access is on. Let me exit, rerun the command, and this time, because I have internet access, it says version check disabled. I did not get that error. Alright, so there's synchronization with the index. Okay, now whilst in Recon-ng, you have the command help, which can help you or which can display the various commands that are available in Recon-ng. Alright, now Recon-ng works with the workspaces feature, which allows you to work or conduct reconnaissance on various targets on separate workspaces. Okay, and the default here is the name of the default workspace. Okay, so when you run just Recon-ng, it launches the Recon-ng in the default workspace. So we can use the command workspaces list to view the workspaces we have available. Okay, so this is the default one, and this one I use for a room in TryHackMe, so I'm not going to use that workspace. Okay, so you can create your own workspace. So let's create one with the command workspace. This is create, and I'm going to call this CHV12 as we are preparing for our certification. Okay, and immediately you create it, you can see we have been moved from the default workspace to the CH workspace. Alright, so let's view our workspaces once again. And oh, I spelled workspaces wrongly. Okay, so we have our CHV12 workspaces. Okay, so as you remember, I said one thing I like about the Recon-ng CLI is that it helps you to run the Recon-ng to your specific workspace. So let's see how that is done. So I'm just going to exit from here, and from here now, instead of running just Recon-ng, I'll add -w to it, and then the name of the workspace I want to go to, which is that. So it should launch right into the CH version 12 workspace, and that we are ready to start our reconnaissance. Okay, now before you can run any reconnaissance in Recon-ng, you have to load the module that you want to use. So there are so many modules available in the marketplace. All right, so the marketplace is where the modules are, and you have to go there to install the module that you need for your particular task. Now the modules are put into categories. So when you run the command marketplace search, it displays the modules. Right, it displays the modules that are available, and there are so many modules. All right, and as you can see, they are in categories. So we have discovery, exploitation, import, recon. That's what we want to do. We want to do reconnaissance, and that is a lot. There's so many reconnaissance tools, and then we have the reporting as well. Okay, so in our particular case, we are going to look for hosts or subdomains for a target, and in our case we are going to use the certifiedhacker.com domain as our target. All right, so let's look for tools that can be used for that. Now we have root host, one of this module, which can be used for that. And there is also Google Site Web. All right, so searching for a module in this way, it's kind of difficult because you have to go through one after the other and all that. Though the modules are not many, but then there's a better way to search for modules. So the better way is to use the command marketplace search, and then let's say Google. I think it's Google Site something. So let's just do Google, see what comes up. Okay, Google Site Web. All right, and then to see what this particular module can do, you can use the command marketplace info, and then the module name, which is Google _site_web, and it's going to tell you that this harvests hosts from the google.com by using the site search operator. So if you are familiar with Google hacking, we said that you can use a site search operator, and then with the minus in URL :www, you can harvest the subdomains in a particular domain. All right, so when we run this module, that's what it's going to do. It's going to do the same thing, look for the host from that particular domain using the site operator. And then I also talk about the brute, so you can repeat the command and then use info brute. It tells you this one is going to perform brute force host names using DNS. So it's going to use a particular file name, which is called hostnames.txt, and it's going to do brute force, like Okay, so if I put this there, is this going to work? Is this going to work? Like that. So it's going to brute force to identify the subdomains in that particular domain using DNS. Okay, so we have this brute suffix, that's not what we are going to use, and then we have we want to use, where's my command? Okay, we are not going to use that. We are not using this, we are using this. Okay, the brute host. Okay, then another tool that I'll be using for, or module that I'll be using, is the reverse resolve. Okay, because this is going to find the host names. Okay, and I want those host names to be resolved to their IP addresses, or even if it identifies an IP address as the host name, I want it to be resolved to a name. Okay, so we use the reverse resolve module. So I can do marketplace info, or let's search if it's available. Reverse resolve. Okay, so we have two modules, host, reverse resolve, and that. We want this. Okay, we are not going to use this, but we can read the info for each one and see which one will best suit our scenario or situation. In my case, I'm going to use the first module. So let's read about it. Info, and that's on hosts dash hosts reverse underscore resolve. Okay, let me zoom out. Conduct a reverse lookup for each IP address to resolve the host name. So just as I said, it's going to help us to resolve the host names identified by any of the tools that we are going to use. All right, and then the last tool which I will use is a reporting tool or module. Sorry, so that is the HTML module. All right, the HTML module. So let's check if it's available. Search HTML. Yes, so this is going to be used for reporting. Okay, it's going to generate our report in a nice HTML format that we can later use in our assessment report. Okay, so let's read about it. Info HTML. HTML. Okay, so it tells you this is an HTML report generator. All right, so let's get to work. Now we know the modules that we want to use, and so what we have to do next is to install the module. Right, so to install a module, we use the command modules install. Now there is an option to install all the modules, all right, but it's not recommended to install all the modules. All right, you only install the modules that you need for your task. So we are just going to install the ones we need for our task. So install brute hosts, okay, what am I getting here? Oh, sorry, we use the marketplace command. All right, so marketplace install brute underscore host. Okay, yes, that's right. Then let's install the others, the reverse resolve. So marketplace install, and remember there are two of them, so in this case we have to specify the one that we want to use, which is hosts Let's see so that we do not get the wrong one. Okay, so hosts. Let me copy that. Clear and paste. That's the one we want. And then the last one we are going to install is the HTML. That was only one module, so we don't need to specify. It's going to install the right one for us. Okay, that's right. Now we are all set to go to use the module. Alright, so we are going to start with the brute host to identify the host, reverse resolve to resolve the host names, and then the HTML to generate our HTML report. Okay, so to load the module, you run the command modules load, and then you put in the name brute underscore hosts. Okay, that is ready to go. Now we can use the command options to view the available options that we need to set. Okay, so this is the list of the options, and you can see these are already set. Okay, they are already set by default, so we don't need to do anything here. Now we have to go back. Let's go back to our workspace where we are going to set the domain that we want to do or run this module on. Okay, so we use the command db insert domains. It's going to ask for the domain name. We put in the domain name. As I said, since we are working as ethical hackers, we are going to use this domain as our target. And please take note, this is for educational purposes. Alright, it's for educational purposes. Do not use this against a target that you are not authorized to. Alright, so let's view our domains. Let's ensure we've set the right name. Use the command show domains. Okay, so we have defined our domain. Now let's load the module so we can run it. So modules load brute hosts, and we use the command run to run the module. Let's go. Okay, so this is going to take a while. I'm going to pause the video and we'll continue when this is done. Okay, so the brute force is done, and this is the result. It tells us we have 22 total hosts found. Alright, so we are going to do the resolving, right? So we have to load our module for that. So modules load Recon. I think I still have it on my clipboard, so let me paste. That's it. Load that and run that as well. And that was very fast. So it seems all the names are resolving to this, and we can view, let's see our hosts. So show hosts. Okay, so as you can see, we have www resolving to that, webmail, that, SMTP. So basically there's a single IP address that is mapped to all the other subdomains. Okay, so now let's generate our HTML report using the HTML module. So run the command modules load reporting HTML. That is done. Now there are some options that we need to set, like the name for the file, and where we want to store the file, then who created the file and for whom the file was created for or the report was created for. So we use the commands options, set file name, and I'm going to store it on my desktop. All right, so I'm going to do home Cyber-ng desktop, and I'll call this certified, or let me just do ch Recon results. I think my name is going to be too long, and then the extension HTML. Then the next thing is to set who created this. So options, set creator, and obviously that's me, Cyber-ng. And then options, set customer, and that is certified hacker, let's say organization, just that's it. And run this, and it's very fast. As you can see, it tells me the report has been generated and stored here on our desktop. So let's go and take a look at it, and that is it here. So I'm going to open this. It's going to open nicely, and as we can see, certified hacker org, reconnaissance, Recon-ng, blah blah blah. Now you have the summary. It tells us we did for only one domain, and there is the hosts. Let me zoom in. All right, so we have 20 hosts available here that were identified, and then we have the domain. You can see the name. Then we have the hosts, as you can see, and there are various IP addresses. And last, at the bottom, we have who created this particular report. All right, so that is that for Recon-ng for now. And as you remember, I said it also has another tool, which is the Recon Web, that we can use to visualize our activities. All right, so I'm going to exit out of the Recon-ng terminal here. So back, exit, and to run the web service, we use the command recon. I think I've already run it before. So web dash host. Yes, that's it. So you have to specify the host. I'm going to run it on my local system, and then the port number to use, I'm using 8088. You can use any port number. All right, so I'm just going to run that, and it tells me running on this, so I have to go to this website or this URL. Right, so copy, open my browser and paste it in, go. And here you can see it loads to the default workspace, so you can change that. Click on it, go to CHV12. We can see we have our hosts. You can see the various modules that we run against our target. Okay, so let's see hosts, and that is it. Very nice interface to visualize your activities. Okay, and that brings us to the end of this session. See you next week, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be releasing videos, tutorials every week, so stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.